Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another Sunday. I do have, or I will be sharing with you just some cards that I have done that ties in with the Thanksgiving, or thankful season, though I believe that being thankful should be always, not just, necessarily one day during the year. And that's okay, to be recognized for a once a year. However, I believe that it should be every day. So I did make some cards sometime last year and perhaps the year before, and I want to share those with you at this time. So let's go ahead and get started with just some thank you cards I created with some die cuts I had, and it just simply says thanks. These cards open sideways like this, and at the front here, I have a few of those die cuts, maybe about four of those that I used in order to make those. I have like a floral one with uh, a flower and leaves, and this one kind of looked like a crown type of thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I just liked it. So I ended up doing a couple of those. Now, if you notice, there's the coloring. That was done with Distress ink. I just did a blank piece of 65 white 65-pound cardstock. I did a couple of rows, like I did red, I did blue, just, to say I did purple. Once I had everything done, I used my water sprayer and I just sprayed it all. Once it was dried, then I went ahead and cut out those patterns here with my die cuts. So I have a couple of those. And then this one is, the top is the same, but this part I ended up, it's like just leaves pretty much. So I think I have about four of those. So yes, so I did those, and it said, like I said, it's just a simple thank you card, thanks, which is, nice. Here is another one I did. I believe this one I also have um, a bookmark made for this one as well. So this one is a set. And for the background, I used the Distress ink, just did out on the, on my, mat here. And then I just simply placed the white 65-pound cardstock on there, like this, and just, had it up, and I got this nice background. I use leaves, acrylic leaves that I have, the stamps, and I did the back, and pretty much just a nice little thank you that I fussy cut out, and that was this one. As far as Thanksgiving is concerned, I did have some, I think either one or two 12 by 12 sheets at one sale from Hobby Lobby, and I created some of those cards. Now I tried to vary some of the patterns. With these two, I used a stencil at the back. This is scrap paper that I had, and I just kind of cut it based on the pattern that it had. Some flowers I had left over. The Thanksgiving was done with white 65-pound cardstock, but I also used Distress ink, and, just to have that orangey fall look to it. And this is one of the parts of the 12 by 12 that I cut out, because if when I show you the rest, there was like the trucks, whether it's half a truck, the whole truck, the back of the truck, just different um, fall type, pictures that I cut out of the 12 by 12. So I was able to get these two, because this is a side view of what the trucks I cut out. And then I added a couple of flowers because I can, just to finish it off. So that's two of those. This one is the truck from a different angle. On the back, I have a embossed, I think I colored this background here, I believe. And then these are also pieces that I cut out from the 12 by 12 that I had. And this is also 65-pound white cardstock that I colored with Distress ink, and I used it to complete the overall card. So this is another design. And these two here, if you notice, like I mentioned before, the 12 by 12 had different, views of the truck. So this basically was part of the truck, and I use it. This here is the back of the truck, and this is kind of almost the whole truck. So it just depends on, what I had. The backgrounds I used, of course, this is a yellow card, but I used some stamps that I have, fall leaves, and I just, had fun doing that first. These were like sunflowers that I had, and I just decided to use those, there. And the Thanksgiving also was from 65-pound white cardstock that I colored with brown distress ink and came up with this design. So these are two of that design. Then this one, most of them are pretty much this design here. I'm looking to see if I have anything different just to show. Okay, so from this set, most of them are pretty much like this. I think I may have 10 of those, but it portrays different things like pumpkins, what have you. Again, this is part of what I did with the white 65-pound cardstock. I also use scrap paper that I had to get this. So I have a few of those, and I used a little, um, this is some rope that I had. I thought it's just nice to add a little rope. And with this one, this is the only difference. I just wanted it to kind of just, do ta-da. So I just added those gems for that one. But pretty much those are all the same. I just used the little pieces, the half of the uh, wood crates, whatever it was, pumpkins that I could use. And I got those done. This one is pretty much kind of the same. It's just that this, if you notice with this one, I had this more centered, but this one I have it more to the side. And of course on this one I have the whole truck, and I like that one too. So this is Thanksgiving. Now this is a set that I want to go through with you here. The first one, or the first two, I did with the aid of the Cricut. I have a Cricut Explore one that I have, I'm always fighting with that Cricut, but that's okay. So with those, I have, some leaves, sorry, flowers that I had from a set that I bought at, I think, either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I can't remember. But on the background here, if you notice, there's like those checkered type background. I actually used the Cricut to get those negative spaces in there. So I was able to get that. I used white doily just to give it a little sophistication, and a few gems along with the flowers. And of course, thankful was one of those words there. So this is, just being thankful, or, someone did something nice for you. You just want to be thankful. That's also. Then I have another one, thanks. This one is pretty simple. I use a 65-pound white background, use some stamps that I had with those flowers, mounted it on a black background, and I used, an acrylic stamp to put this here. And of course, thanks. These were all stamps. This one is stars and hearts, and to tie in to it, because of the color, the distress ink I used a gold thank you, and then of course bigger gold stars and some nice little hearts on there. So that's another one. This is done with an embossing folder again, just like a picture frame type of look. I did not color this outside because I thought it's really pretty in person, to be honest. And the center, I just use an acrylic stamp I have here just to put a little blue. The card itself is blue. So I placed the white piece here on a black background just to give a trim. And of course, thank you for always being there. So this is good for someone who has always been your go-to person, someone who's just always there when you need them. And, hopefully you have one of those. This one here is just something I did, just putting stuff together. The card base is blue, so I tried to tie in, some bluish elements color-wise. I also ran the red part through an embossing folder that gives you like dots. So this is what's in the background. I also used the another a die cut to get that nice pattern on the edge here, which is, you know, what I actually enjoy. I love this die cut. And of course, there's my tree and, you know, just a nice little birdie in the sky and just a tag that says thank you. Here is another thanks for always being there. This came from a card that I got years ago, and I just love the vase and the flowers, so I went ahead and cut it out, and then I used this here was actually from a die cut to a wave pattern that I had. It was a piece that was left over, so I just used it just to give it a little something different. And my, of course, my acrylic stamp. I used a darker blue on top of the blue card base, and in the back here you can see something looking like bricks. So and of course I used dimensional drops for in the between the flowers, and just a little a knitting rope thread that I had that I just put to tie around the bottom. So that's another one. Then I have thank you. These are all done from pretty much scrap and leftover flowers and things that I just was so tired of seeing, so I used those. This is something I had cut previously, and I had all those jaggedy pointy things left, so I just used that to kind of tie in with color, and hopefully it's okay. And finally, many thanks. I did this one with, as you can notice, die cuts. I do have like I was trying to get this portion of the tree to be more like uh, tree rather than any other color. So I don't know if you can see, yeah, because I have some of those in cellophane bags, so that's why it's so shiny, if you notice. So I have a die cut house, my tree, grass, few birds up in the sky, and some clouds to complete this design, and it just says many thanks. So this is pretty much all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you guys next week Sunday. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and use this opportunity to be thankful for every little thing, no matter what, even if it seems trivial, but just know to be thankful for everything that you do have. So again, see you next Sunday, and have a safe and blessed week. Bye bye.